Hi everyone. This has been on my mind for a while because it's one of the questions or, advice seeking pieces that people come to me with, and it's breaks my heart at the same time. I'm also in that situation is in terms of like seeking and when to share this. Okay, so when it comes to relationships, what part of PCOS makes it so difficult to share that information is what is really important to address here. Some of you are in relationships that suddenly now found out that you have PCOS. And for some, it's a fertility issue in terms of the fear that, oh, are they fertile enough? So that's a different conversation. And I would say if someone is in love with you and they will also realign their future thinking with you, whatever is going on with you and so forth, like you would for anyone else that you're, vice versa. So life sometimes has unpredictable events and you just kind of go with it. Now, the biggest one that I see with people especially who are in relationships, is the physical change that impacts the relationship, and that's where they're finding the struggles. They're finding the stress, is especially around the weight gain. And I get, very desperate in some sense emails from women who are wanting to lose weight so fast so they can keep their spouse or partner satisfied in terms of like the physical appearance aesthetically. The pieces around, the hair growth suddenly, because you may have had it and symptoms just really kick in, and then it's a shock to the partner, but also to your own esteem, and you're kind of adjusting while you're also dealing with the pressure of not being accepted by the person that you're supposed to be, in love with, and they're supposed to love you unconditionally. And then you realize there might be a challenge there when it comes to the word unconditional. I get it. So, in those cases, I would say the first avenue is your health. So your health, if that's a stress factor, then that's that person's responsibility to deal with their own perception issues, their own issues around what it means to love someone. And I know how hard that is, and I know you want to try and try and try, but my thing is, you don't have to leave or anything. That's, again, this is everyone's personal decision. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm just saying that whatever you do, be true to yourself. That's all my advice has always been, is be true to yourself, honor your health, do what is best for you, and kind of be like, okay, yeah, whatever. I've gained weight, yeah. Do you think I chose to? Or whatever the situation. Oh, I'm growing hair. Yeah. Do you think I signed up for that? Like I'm doing it, like it's not like a choice. It's something that's happened. So the insensitivity kind of exists, and then work around it. But at the end of the day, just think my health overrides someone else's perception or someone else's failure in meeting my expectations in this relationship, and then you can figure out what you want to do with that relationship. But just remember, put a light switch on and be like, that's not my problem. Because if the roles were reversed, I guarantee you, if the roles were reversed, 80% at least of women would still be supporting and wouldn't care. And that's my personal opinion on it. From just, what I've seen, things that happen in life. So, and the weight thing is something that can still be managed. It's not like, a major, your hand isn't chopped off or something. It's just, it'll come off at some point through health and, of course, stress reduction. Okay, now for the other part, the ones that are single. Some 20-somes message, and, you've shared with me, and I appreciated that. You're scared out of your mind. I get it. You're scared out of your mind that someone will think of you as being less worthy because you may, quote unquote, have fertility issues. Your uterus is not in the relationship. Yes, you're a woman, but that's not the entire being of who you are. And that being said, you're not sure because you haven't tried to have a child yet, so how would you know? And a PCOS stamp on your forehead doesn't mean that you're infertile. That's also, not realistic. It can become difficult, but that's not just for PCOS sufferers. I know many PCOS and non-PCOS people who have a hard time conceiving. I mean, it's complex. So that's one part. Other part, now you've have the PCOS symptoms kicking in, you're single, you're having a hard time. What do you tell the person that you're dating? Do you tell them in the first, dinner meal or the first date. No, you tell them when you know, start connecting with somebody, and then you can say, well, I have something to share with you, and this is what it is. This is, you know, a symptom that I have, symptom that I have, and this is what the information is. This is what it's called. This is what you can check online for. This is why I eat a certain way. This is, you know, at times, you know, whatever you want to share in terms of the small conversation. But basically, how I say it is, yeah, I have PCOS. It's a hormone imbalance, and you know, I've had it since I was 28, and I manage it myself naturally. I'm not on anything, and I try my best to do what I can with it. Sometimes questions are asked. Sometimes there's a shrug, and it's like, oh, okay, no interest, because it overrides the connection or the communication that's occurring at that time for whatever, you know, for within the courtship, let's say. So that part, you know, is not a big deal. And I know some people feel like it's a stamp of, I don't know, like dating death or something. It's not. I mean, get that out of your mind. Just own it and say you know, it is what it is, and I'm a woman. This is what's happening within my system, and I'm just self-caring. And generally, from my experience of speaking to people, it's been a positive response overall, right? So it's been positive, and in terms of, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. So don't, you know, allow others in. Allow them to be part of your storyline, and don't be scared of PCOS as a label or as something within a relationship. As I said, that's for the single people. For the ones that are already in a relationship, and when change happens in the relationship, I understand how challenging that can be. So I'm hoping you have support. Sometimes support takes time. Once the shock, you know, of like, okay, you've changed in aesthetic ways, but you haven't changed as a person, but aesthetic ways. And that's the most emails that I get around relationship parts is, how do I quickly lose this? You know, how do I, you know, that will cause me more stress than anything else. Take it easy. The weight will slowly but surely come off, and just reconfigure your thoughts around PCOS and how to then convey PCOS, and just own it around, you know, own it amongst your friends, your relationships, your partners, etc. So it's what I just wanted to share quickly was just state it. I know it's not easy, but it's part of who you are, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a taboo. It shouldn't be a taboo. The taboo should be those that don't support. So that's all I want to say about that. So take care of yourself, self-love, and you know, we're all sisters in this, literally. So lots of love. Any thoughts on anything? How about even sharing like what your major challenges are when it comes to speaking about PCOS? Please share and have a discussion amongst you as well. So yeah, okay. Lots of love and care. Bye.